Welcome back. Now, since this is a course on the stock market, I'm going to start by defining what is a stock or a share. But instead of just giving you a definition up front, I'm going to give you an example so that you get a better feel for the topic. Now, let's say you have some money saved up and you want to start a manufacturing business. So, if you have, say, $10,000 saved up and you are using that to start your business, the first thing you probably would need is a place where you can manufacture goods. Let's assume that real estate is really cheap where you live, and say you buy a place for $3,000. Now you're really smart, so you want to keep an account of what you're doing, and so in order to do so, you just simply write it down. Since you purchased a piece of land or a building for $3,000, you write this transaction down. So you write down land or building, and right beside it you write down $3,000. Next, you probably need some manufacturing equipment, and let's say that costs you another $3,000. You again note it down and say you write machinery, you bought machinery for $3,000. Next, you will also need some raw materials that can be fed into the machinery so that you can produce finished goods. Also, probably you will need employees to operate the machinery, and of course you will need to pay them. Apart from that, you will need to pay for some other miscellaneous expenses like the electricity bill. Keeping all this in mind, you keep the remaining $4,000 as cash, which you will use as and when needed. Now, to make sure you have accounted for all the money, you need to keep track of the original money you started with. So on the right hand side, you create another column to write down your original sum of $10,000. In accounting, the term owner's equity is often used to denote this sum, so we are also using the same term here. So in order to keep track of our investment, we have created this simple table here, which is actually a simplified balance sheet. By looking at this sheet, anyone can clearly see that around $3,000 was invested in buildings, another $3,000 went into machinery, and $4,000 is kept as cash for meeting other expenses related to the business. All these items are denoted as assets, and since the business owner paid for all these assets, he owns everything, and this is denoted as owner's equity of $10,000 on the right hand side of this table. Since the total on the left hand side and the right hand side of the table are the same, we can be sure that we have accounted for every penny of the business owner's money. Now let's assume instead of having $10,000 in savings, you have only $8,000. So now if you want to start the same business at the same scale with the same assets, you're short of capital by $2,000. So now what do? Obviously, you can get a loan for this amount to fill for this shortfall. In order to keep track of money, we represent this item in our balance sheet as borrowings. So on the right hand side, we now write borrowings, and against this item, we write $2,000. Now this balance sheet reflects the fact that you don't have complete ownership of all the assets of the business. In fact, now your ownership is only limited to the net assets of the company. Net assets is essentially the value of assets after selling your liabilities due to borrowings. Hence, net assets is defined as total assets minus total liabilities. This is so because now the business has obligation to people who have lent the business money. Now the lenders hope to receive interest over the borrowing period and also the principal after the borrowing period has ended. So if you were to liquidate all your assets today, these people have the right for their money to be returned to them, and this right comes before your rights to these assets. Accordingly, the value of your equity is equal to the net assets of the company. So this is how the balance sheet of a simple business looks like. Now shares or stocks essentially represents anyone's percentage interest in the owner's equity. So continuing with this example, if for some reason you today decide that you no longer want to invest $8,000 in this business, and say now you only want to invest $4,000, as you need the rest of the capital for some other purposes, but at the same time you don't want to disturb the activities of your current business by either reducing the size of the business or by borrowing more money, you have the option to bring in another partner who can give you this $4,000, and in return he'll become a part owner of the business. This partnership can be represented by a piece of paper or agreement which states that you own one share which is worth $4,000 and your partner owns one share which is worth $4,000. By making this arrangement, you have managed to release your money without affecting a running business. This arrangement also clearly says that since you own one share out of total of 2 shares issued by the business, you have 50% ownership of the net assets of the company. This also means that each shareholder has right to 50% of business's net profits. This net profit is arrived after paying the borrowers the interest due to them on the loans. Hence, here too you are entitled to a share in the profits of the company only after the lenders have got their due. So now we'll formally define what is a stock or a share. A stock or a share represents a fixed percentage ownership in a company or business. For example, if a company has issued 100 shares and if someone were to own one share, then they essentially have 1% ownership in the company. This means that the shareholder has rights to 1% of the net assets of the company, and they also have right to 1% of the net profit of the company. So now, having defined what is a stock or a share, next we are going to see what is a stock market. Now, stock market is a marketplace for stocks where willing buyers and sellers of stocks come together to trade with each other. This trading may happen either on a stock exchange where the exchange manages the risk of trading in various stocks, or this trading may happen privately between two willing parties. Stock exchange is essentially a platform where buyers and sellers transact in any security. We'll cover stock exchanges in greater detail in a later lecture, but what is important to note is that even in case of private trading, where two willing parties trade with each other, in case the stock they are trading is listed on an exchange, then the buyer and the seller, in case of private trading, are also obliged to register the trade with the exchange. However, in the case the stock of the company being traded privately is not listed on the exchange, then this is not applicable. For the purpose of this course, we are limiting ourselves to stock trading on exchanges. When it comes to the stock market and stock exchanges, the trading of stocks may happen either in the primary market or in the secondary market. We'll cover this topic in detail in one of the later lectures.